Oh, I think your mic might be disconnected tea time.
Hello there. We meet again.
Yes.
We are indeed back. I think it's working now. It should be working now. I flicked the switch, and we've also flicked the switch on the server. I think that was what was wrong all along. We just forgot to turn it on.
Yeah, that might have been the issue, honestly. Tends to be a solution that works oftentimes. Just turn it on.
Well, listen, I'm definitely going to be turning it on for the veto for this one in particular, because obviously India, I think they want to be playing out on Inferno. It's Anubis.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, in the match that has the least impact for India, you know, and like it's one of the most important matches for Iran. We're heading into Anubis. We're heading into uncharted waters right here, and I'm not even sure where to dissect this tea time.
I don't think anyone is. Because to be honest, this is really strange. Iran was banning Anubis in the second phase very often in the best of threes in the qualifiers. So seeing this come out it's kind of wild.
Okay, how about this? Do you think Iran maybe thought that India were going to ban it out, but didn't take into account that this game no longer has any implications for India, so that they could maybe go for like a troll pick?
You know what? I might actually have to open up my veto notes just because I'm so curious about what this actually means, because like you said, it's actually important to the mentality, but let's also look at what is important to the game, which is the knife round. Let's see who will be starting on what side.
Is there a waiting game here? Is there a waiting game? There's a bit of a standoff. Here it comes. Iran, yeah, they should be opting to...
I have also just realized that I do not have a Docs app on my phone, so I cannot actually open my notes on the veto. But you know what? I'm going to let you guys know about that one tomorrow for sure. Regardless, it is Anubis, and it is going to be uncharted waters, like you mentioned. And the question is, who can actually liberate the temple? It will be India starting things off on the CT side.
Pretty much every team has been opting to play towards the T side when they win the knife round, but even though things have started to balance out, like not fully, but like the CT side has gotten a lot better as pros have started to figure out better ways to play Anubis. I don't think that has trickled over to this region just yet.
Amin trying to swing around the corner. They're just moving in through middle. It will not be really any damage dealt at all. Instead, they're moving back over towards the B connection, trying to move in to the side itself. SK Wow and Spawn both coming up with the killer piece. Amin and Dantic, however, will respawn. A very labored duel between Nikes and Dantic, and Nikes just isn't able to take advantage of that USB aim reset at all. Fired up, the last one left alive. I believe he is calling for this side, at least he is for Revenant, if I'm not wrong. 1v1, Zeron spots him out. No kit, and that is something Zeron might not need to take care of, considering the fact that he can just swing out and take heads off.
Beautiful work by Iran. Wasn't a particularly dominant pistol round, but Zeron is able to get it done. And India having to start off on the back burner once again. This has been a consistent theme from them. They've never really been able to come out on top in the early game. They've always really had to fight uphill battles, and I mean, it's got to be fatiguing by now, right? This is their fourth game where they're essentially fighting an uphill battle. They're playing against the T side of Anubis. Don't want to be in their shoes at all.
In all fairness, if you are at the bottom, every battle is an uphill battle.
Fair enough.
And India so far has not been doing too well. Obviously, very difficult position to be in with the weird lineup dynamics that you mentioned for us. But yeah, oh, there goes out the Zeus fired up.
No.
Might even be able to come through with a second. No, Rashness is too clean.
I can't believe he even gets that Zeus kill because that was so forced. He was running after a player that was watching him, and he still gets away with it. Okay, I mean, fine then.
Dude, he's literally, Zeus is literally the ancient Greek symbol for lightning. Right, that lightning goes pretty far. That makes sense.
Unless it's a Zeus, because $200 worth of lightning doesn't really make it that far.
Literally lightning in a bottle. Easy anti-eco. I'm surprised that India isn't going for more exits or anything like it. This is very strange considering the lack of investment. SK WoW, sure, maybe he wants to say that Eagle, but in the next round you're going to have guns regardless. So yeah, India, a bit odd, but maybe just want to make sure that Zveron and the like aren't just getting free anti-eco kills and starting to really power up. That's actually something that I heard Snappy talking about a little bit, that he has to take care of whenever they're going up against Na'Vi, which is that you never, on an eco round, you never go to Simple's bomb site. Don't let him get the eco frags. Don't let him get going. Oh.
Good opener from Amin.
Yeah, fired up, tried to get cute outside of the smoke, but really just the canals are completely occupied. Iran has very much firmly kept a hold of them.
Not really much of an aggression from Iran beyond that initial duel. Slowly taking control of Connector. There's a little bit of a boost going on as well. Spawn getting ready to peek. Cows wants the bomb as well. So now they know the intentions of Iran. They're getting ready to move in. Megaman does not connect his shots. Amin is able to reel it back in though, but there is still a player that's being a menace, and the rotations have come in fast. Fired up will be very, or rather Nikus will be very difficult to deal with up close. Nikus, nice shot on Rashness. Zveron bounces back, but Spawn is still lingering around. And all the way on the other bomb site, SK WoW will have his share of the pie as well.
What a hold from Spawn coming through there. The big triple just enabling everything. It's 1v1s after 1v1s and not a lot of utility to help him out. It is just honestly pure outdueling in those situations. They will not have the AWP just yet, but maybe don't need it either. Iran on a much weaker buy. They only have a single flashbang, 3 smokes, and a Molotov. This is going to be reliance on just straight strafing into taps. And India doesn't want to let them actually have the opportunity. Flashes being lined up, and they were turned around. They will be able to intercept. Spawn still wins it out. He is having an individual moment, if I've ever seen one.
SK. Amin's about to walk into his crosshairs. He spots the elbow. Butts pray, though. That is the A-bomb site being given up. And suddenly, they've got a solid chance at a plant. And the defense as well. Spawn a little bit low on HP. Clouda finally moving in. He's made his presence known. 2 kills for the man, and he's still lingering around for the fight. Rashness, a little uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah, that's not a rash display. That's definitely not. Clouda will, however, be more than happy to collect on these mistakes. And again, just to remind everyone, we've talked a lot about India doesn't have much to lose here. Iran has everything to lose. This is Iran's only opportunity to come through and make up for the fact that on day 1 they had 2 losses. Right? Iran has to come forward and win out both these games. They obviously did a great job initially versus Vietnam. Managed to bring that one together 16-14. Vietnam's only loss in this group, in fact, and Vietnam is topping out the group overall. Amin will fall, fired up to deliver him to the grave. Easy enough frag without the Kevlar and the like, but even so.
Yeah, and this is actually a pretty decent bounce back from India. The fact that they lose the first couple of rounds and then they're able to start making a dent. Knowing how difficult it is to navigate the CT side of Anubis, anything they can